start at the CEC. A fire broke out in one of the restaurant kitchens just a few hours ago. The fireworks weren't supposed to start until tonight, but things got off to a blazing start when a piece of oven equipment caught fire.
Everything is absolutely under control. There is a little bit of smoke in this area and a little bit of smoke that will go to the upper press and broadcast center area, but we are back to a very normal situation. We don't expect any more problem whatsoever.
Around 11:25, reporters working in the venue were disrupted by a fire alarm. The blaze was put out around noon. No one was injured. It's unknown what sparked the fire. The kitchen serves the sixth-floor restaurant, The Gallery. And today, like the sign says, no smoking seating will be unavailable. A convention spokesman says the fire will have no effect on tonight's festivities. The kitchen wasn't involved in preparation for the Handover banquet, and the center will be ready to host the world's leaders when they arrive here tonight. The convention center is the hot spot. World leaders are heading down just before 8 o'clock for the festivities. They include Chinese President Jiang Zemin, Premier Li Peng, Prince Charles, British Prime Minister Tony Blair, former British Premier Lady Thatcher, U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, Deng Xiaoping's daughter Deng Nan, former Hong Kong resident Princess Alexandra of Denmark and her husband, and diplomats like Australian Foreign Minister Alexander Downer and Japan's Foreign Minister Yukihiko Ikeda. Things kick off this afternoon at Government House when Chris Patten makes his final departure, followed 2 hours later by the British farewell ceremony. The British goodbye culminates at 8:15 with a fireworks show. A contingent of PLA troops to be stationed in Hong Kong will cross the border at 9 p.m. And then 156 years of British rule officially comes to an end with a handover ceremony just before midnight. The new SAR administration will be sworn in shortly after 1:30 in the morning, followed by the first meeting of the Provisional Legislature at 2:45 a.m. Well, that's it from me here at the Press Broadcast Center in Wan Chai. Now back to you, Chris, in the studio.
Thank you, Stacy. As Stacy mentioned, the governor will make his final departure from Government House shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon. And Ray Rudowski is right outside the residence to bring us the latest. Ray?
The farewell ceremonies for the outgoing British administration begin shortly after 4 p.m. Now, Government House is often the scene of various petitions, and crowds often gather to present demands of the governor. But today, the crowds gathered below me are demanding only photos and autographs of the outgoing governor. Now, early this morning, workers removed the colonial emblem on the mansion's front porch. It's been crated, and we're uncertain of its final destination. The governor, however, is not here. As we've seen, despite his departure, it's still a full working day. Crowds are anticipating his arrival. The song you hear is Highland Cathedral. It is Governor Chris Patten's favorite and will play as he departs. First, he'll inspect a police honor guard and say his final goodbyes to his staff. Then his limousine will circle the driveway 3 times for luck before departing for the last time. After 142 years of housing British governors, the mansion will cease to be the official residence of Hong Kong's future leaders. It may become a museum or guest house. At 6:15, the governor and Prince Charles attend a gala British farewell at the East Tamar site. Last week's rehearsals give an idea of what to expect. 10,000 guests with special tickets will be treated to a song and dance extravaganza. At sunset, the Union Jack will be lowered at the site for the last time. Now, a light rain is starting to fall out here at Government House, but that hasn't dampened enthusiasm. Crowds have gathered in the several hundreds, hoping for a last glimpse of the governor. However, on a different note, the governor's dogs, whiskey and soda, have left over the weekend, and the governor will return here at about 3:40, have what I'm told will be a tearful goodbye ceremony with his staff of about 250. Then the official ceremonies, which the public will witness live here on TVB, will begin at about 4:20. In the meantime, though, the governor plans to leave. He'll go to the Britannia, freshen up for those final ceremonies at Tamar. After that, his plans when he returns to France are still unknown. There have been suggestions that he return to British politics. However, all he said is that he plans to go to France and write a book. Back to you.
Thanks, Ray. Ray Rudowski in Central. In Beijing, people have been gathering in Tiananmen Square over the past few days to celebrate Hong Kong's return to Chinese sovereignty. Mary Lois Chan has been following the revelry in Beijing. Mary Lois, how is it there?
Well, like Hong Kong, it's been a great start to the day here in Beijing. Tiananmen Square, as you can see, is still pretty clouded over, and we are expecting showers throughout the day. But that hasn't stopped people from coming out here. Today is not actually a public holiday on the mainland. Tomorrow, July the 1st is. But in effect, most people seem to have taken a long weekend. But the crowds out now are nothing compared to the scene here last night. Late evening in the capital. Residents take an after-dinner stroll. Crowds flood the roads to Tiananmen. Traffic is overwhelmed. For most people, it was a last chance to see the handover show. This morning, grey clouds hang over a big day. Festive flags are dampened, but enthusiasm is not. Tourists join in the fun.
I don't feel sad at all, because I come from one of the colonies. So I'm happy, very happy.
The Chinese people seem very excited. They don't seem the least bit upset or worried. They all seem very jubilant, and it's really exciting.
International media around the square provide numerous sideshows. But most just want their photograph with the countdown clock while it's still ticking. There is a sense of urgency in the way people are getting their photos and their souvenirs. Of course, nobody wants to miss the big moment, but pretty soon they'll be asked to leave and Tiananmen Square will be completely cleared. From around 3 in the afternoon, all the roads surrounding Tiananmen will also be closed off. For tonight's event, a select 100,000 guests will attend. Those 6 big red blocks behind me say, celebrating Hong Kong's return to the motherland. That's exactly what they'll be doing, of course. It's going to be a 7-hour extravaganza. I'll keep you updated on that. For now, back to you in Hong Kong.
And thank you, Mary Lois. Hundreds of demonstrators expected to show up for a rally planned for this evening in Central. Deborah Kahn is standing by live at Statue Square to tell us what is going on there. Deborah?
Thank you, Chris. As unpredictable as the weather can be in the summertime in Hong Kong, it started to rain down here at Statue Square. But behind me, you'll see they're just covering up a democracy wall. Exhibitions are just getting underway. The purpose of this wall is so that people can come by and sign their names and also put their feelings down about the handover, members of the public, that is. Now, the areas on all sides of the Legislative Council have been designated for protests, and what the groups are calling for are the preservation of human rights and freedoms in Hong Kong. Thousands are expected to show up tonight for a huge rally planned, given by the Democratic Party at 10 p.m. tonight. And I think it's important to point out that the groups, many of the groups that have shown up here tonight are in support for reunification with China, but what they're calling for is the preservation for freedom and democracy in Hong Kong.
They portray their views through art. A patchwork quilt spells out calls for the preservation of human rights and democracy in Hong Kong.
Can't you feel by people? It's the meaning. So each people should have their own point of view. They can speak out what they need, they want. Yeah, this is what country mean.
The group say today is significant, but their fight won't end with the handover.
I think this moment, like any other moment, is crucial for Hong Kong people to demonstrate to themselves and to the rest of the world that we have a vibrant society, we have a vibrant civil society, we are not afraid to speak out, and we are always looking forward to have the chance to create a future for ourselves.
Members of the Frontier Party are gearing up for an exhibition which is set to last the day, while a handful of police patrol the area. Thousands are expected to show up for a huge rally starting at 10 p.m. Pro-democracy groups will gather to make a plea for universal suffrage in Hong Kong. Speeches, a concert, and drama performances are planned throughout the evening. At midnight, Democratic Party member Sita Wah will light a torch of democracy, and the party's chairman Martin Lee will later join other members at LegCo after attending the handover ceremony. He and other members are expected to address the crowd from the the balcony of the Legislative Council.
And several Democratic Party members are expected to enter the Legislative Council at around 5 p.m. tonight to prepare for the delivering of its manifesto. Democratic Party Chairman Martin Lee is also expected to speak out against the formation of the Provisional Legislature. Another sit-in is planned by the Professional Teachers Union at around 2 o'clock. Should be a busy day out here. I'll keep you posted throughout the day. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Deborah. We're going to take a short break and we'll come back with more on the ceremonies and festivities on the Handover.